We are so back. Wow. Wow. I mean, wow. Literally just got home from seeing the new Fantastic Four First Steps film, and I mean, seriously, just wow. Like, I'm not trying to be that corny person because everyone online is doing it, but that movie was literally fantastic. It was. I know that's corny, I know that's cheesy, that's so stupid, but is there really a better word for it? This is Cinema Hooked, and thank you for tuning in for my non-spoiler, non-spoiler first reaction review of this movie. And seriously, it was just so good. I went in with literally zero expectations. I wasn't a particularly big fan of Fantastic Four growing up. I didn't really read Fantastic Four comics, but I did watch, the films from like the mid 2000s featuring Chris Evans and Jessica Alba. I did not see Fan Four Stick because why would anyone willingly, go see that movie? I don't know. Michael B. Jordan can carry a movie, but it wasn't enough to make me watch it. But this new movie was just absolutely amazing from beginning to end. And God, I want to talk about it. I want to go into details, but this is my non-spoiler review, so I'm just giving you my thoughts on it and what I think about it. First thing I think I want to get into is the actors and the characters that they played. Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards was really great. The effects for, Mr. Fantastic doing the stretch thing, I thought it looked good. They didn't overdo it in the movie, and obviously I'm not going to talk about when it was used, when it wasn't used, when it should have been used, anything like that, but the effects were great. And his portrayal of Reed Richards I thought was really great. He pulled off, I'm an extremely brilliant scientist. Like, it was believable, because this is kind of a different role than I've ever seen him in before, because I'm used to him in like The Mandalorian or The Last of Us and other media like that, Game of Thrones, so this was a totally different character than I was used to seeing him in. But I thought Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, totally believable and absolutely great. Next, I want to talk about Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm. She's the highlight of the film for me, personally. I absolutely loved her performance. So there are multiple points in this movie where her character is on screen and like I'm overcome with emotion. Like, I want to cry, and not necessarily because I'm sad or anything like that, but there's certain moments in film and TV shows where there's just a moment where you're watching it and just so much is going on and the focus is on this character and just like they're doing something and it just like you just feel it, and I just found myself multiple times just kind of overcome with emotions, and I was like reacting to it, and it was great. It was brilliant. I loved Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. Again, highlight of the film for me. I thought she was the best part of this film, so great casting. I really loved Sue Storm in this movie. Doing her powers with the... I don't have like a VFX thing to show you what I'm doing, but you know what I mean, Yeah, so Sue Storm, total badass, loved it. Can't wait to see more of her in the MCU moving forward. But yeah, you're in for a treat when you go see this movie this weekend. Next, let's get into Ebon Moss-Bachrach's The Thing. I thought he was really great. I really enjoyed that actor. First thing I ever saw him in was the Andor series, the Star Wars series, which he was in that for a little bit, but he was good. But I mostly know him from the show The Bear. And he's brilliant on The Bear. That guy's great. And obviously it's more voice acting in this film, but even though he is there, you don't see his face, but he was great. I like, and this isn't a spoiler, but in like the promotional, the teasers and stuff like that, he's like got the beard going on. I thought the beard was a cool look, but his character was great. And one thing about this film, and you see it in the trailers and the teasers, is just the cohesiveness of this like family dynamic between the Fantastic Four. Johnny, Sue, Reed, Ben, their chemistry's great. And one thing I did like about this film, and it's not really a spoiler, but the dynamic between Johnny and Ben, it wasn't too over the top. Like the Chris Evans movies, I thought they were a little over the top with the teasing between the two and like the pranks, which I know they like must have done that a lot in the comics and stuff like this, but I thought this movie just had the perfect amount of that, and it totally worked. I thought Ebon Moss was great. I look forward, again, like Sue Storm and Reed Richards, I really look forward to seeing more of them in the MCU. Joseph Quinn's Human Torch. Loved it. It was great. Totally worked. It was great. I know initially in some like the teaser trailers and stuff that were coming out, people were like, I don't know if he can really pull off Johnny Storm, but he was great. I thought that he had great range. You know, he made you feel things when you're watching him on the screen. Great script, by the way. I really loved the script, the plot of this movie. I thought it was great writing. I really loved it. They really brought the best out of all of these actors. And Joseph Quinn is just another example, just like the other three, of just how fantastic this core four was. I mean, the casting choices, because I feel like these actors themselves, just as real people, like, I think they just had a great chemistry and working together. I think it just bled onto the screen, and it was just felt right. Because this movie was just believable. Just, you believed that they were this tight-knit family that cared about one another, and it absolutely worked. Joseph Quinn was great. I'm glad to be seeing him in more things. You know, I remember him from Game of Thrones. Then he's in Stranger Things. It kind of became like an internet phenomenon because of that role as Eddie. And now Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm. And it's going to be great seeing him in other films. I assume Fantastic Four is the whole group's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. So I look forward to seeing Johnny interact with some of the other heroes in the MCU. It's going to be great. Now, Ralph Ineson as Galactus. Finally got Galactus. And I'm not sure if I kind of started avoiding some of the TV spots and stuff that were coming out. I kind of just like to see the main trailers these days. I try not to watch the teasers and stuff because I want to go in as blind as possible to the movie. Just let me see the initial trailer. That's all I want to see. So the only thing I'd seen from the trailers, like maybe many of you who watch this, who like to avoid teasers and TV spots and stuff, was his feet just walking through the city and stomping on stuff. That's all I'd seen. But without blowing anything, I'm just going to say Galactus looked amazing. Just absolutely amazing. It's not the big, stupid cosmic cloud moving towards Earth in the second Fantastic Four movie back in like 2007. It's so good. The representation of Galactus is just so amazing. The visuals in this movie, by the way, amazing. That's something we can talk about afterwards. But yeah, Ralph Ineson, the voice, I mean, he's got such an iconic voice. Another actor on this cast, along with Pedro Pascal and Joseph Quinn, who was in Game of Thrones. He was one of Theon Greyjoy's kind of guys, you know. But yeah, great. Ralph Ineson, the voice. I mean, just amazing. Also, if you haven't seen him in The Witch, watch him in The Witch. Just another thing that he's in that's really great. But oh man, nope, I can't say that. That would be a spoiler. So now, last but certainly not least, Julia Garner's Silver Surfer. I thought that she was great. The visuals of her on the initial trailer, I didn't really care for the way that it looked, but in the movie, and also, by the way, I saw this in 3D, and I am by no means a 3D guy. I'm not anti-3D, but I definitely do not go out of my way for 3D. I know within the last 10 years I've seen a 3D movie, but I couldn't tell you what it was. But the only one I can actually remember seeing was like almost 20 years ago, and it was the first Avatar. So in the last 20 years, I've seen 2 3D movies, now 3 from tonight. But I kind of loved it. Like, honestly, like I kind of loved it. And 3D, the clarity and the visuals of Silver Surfer were just amazing. The VFX on this movie, it didn't seem like they cheaped out at all. I mean, I'm sure Disney was like pounding on their VFX people, you know, hey, I need it, because we've all heard, you know, in the news about how VFX artists are just like beat to death with the demands and the timelines. But I mean, this movie looked amazing. VFX on Silver Surfer, she looked amazing. But her role in this movie, she was great. And while she didn't have the most screen time of like everyone, she did have a good portion of the movie. And I thought when you get a little bit more of her character and find out a little bit more about the character, makes you care even more about the character. So I thought she was great as Silver Surfer. Will we see her again in another movie? I don't know, but Julia Garner totally killed it as Silver Surfer. Now, obviously, I want to talk spoilers, but I'm not going to. Promised you this was a spoiler-free review, and it will remain that way. But gosh, there's so much to talk about that was just amazing in this movie. but I can't talk about it in this video. So I hope you'll tune into my full spoiler review. But moving on. Let's talk about the director, Matt Shakman. Now, I'm not super familiar with his work, but just looking at his filmography on IMDb, he directed WandaVision, did a couple of pretty epic episodes of Game of Thrones. So, hey, you directed some good Game of Thrones episodes, like, you're good in my book, because while, you know, that final season was terrible, that wasn't him. So, the 2 episodes he did direct of Game of Thrones, peak, love it. But I think, I mean, looking at his filmography, it seems like this was the biggest thing that he'd been tasked with, and he just nailed it. Expect to see him directing something else in the future for the MCU, probably the next Fantastic Four movie, because it was great. And the writing was amazing. Again, I loved the writing. It all worked for me. So if you tuned into my Superman review, you saw how I absolutely loved it, but I was like, but it's not perfect. You know, I changed it. I mean, I think confidently say there was nothing, not a single thing I would change about this Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Not a single thing. So if you bought tickets for this weekend, or you're thinking about going this weekend, or maybe next week on Cheap Tuesday or something, like, absolutely do. Like, this is a movie to see in a movie theater. Get your bucket of popcorn, and if you can get the actual, you know, the Fantastic Four bucket, that'd be cool with the Galactus head. I wasn't able to get it because they were sold out in my theater, which is crazy because it just came out today. But yeah, they were probably selling them before the movie came out, and that's why they're sold out. But I did get this little Fantastic Four patch. You can check that out. Focus. So I got a patch. Yeah, better than nothing, right? But the movie was great. Absolutely loved it. I want to talk spoilers, but that's going to be for my next video, where I can just go into details and talk about plot points and just some of the awesome scenes, because there's so many amazing scenes in this that's going to hit you right in the feels. And maybe you're not going to almost want to cry like I did, but I feel like it's going to hit you. Like, it's going to hit you. If you like the MCU, you like comic book movies, you like good action, you like good writing, which you should all like good writing, unless you watch shows like Love Island or something like that. That's just trash reality. But if you like good writing for TVs and movies, this is the movie, man. You got to go see it. Check it out. If you've seen it already, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought without giving anything away, so we don't spoil it for others. But I'd love to talk with you about this movie, or you can catch me over on X or Instagram. I just want to talk about this movie with people, and I'm glad I at least have this platform to discuss how I felt about it. But tell me what you guys think. Let's take the discussion somewhere else. Love to chat. So make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate anyone who subscribes to this channel. It really means a lot to me. I just love having this outlet to engage with other people and give my thoughts on these movies, and, you know, just have conversations about film. It's just great. And also, if you're on the fence about 3D or not 3D, if you're open to it, I would recommend the 3D. It was actually amazing. I think the movie was better in 3D. I think I enjoyed it more seeing it in 3D than I would have if I'd have just seen it on the normal Cinemark XD. But also, if you have access to like a legit IMAX theater, which my closest legit one's like 4 hours away, and I can't drive down to San Francisco on a work night to catch this. If you have access to an IMAX screen, this is definitely a movie to see in IMAX, because, I mean, it's Galactus, and that would just look, I'm just telling you, it'd look amazing on an IMAX screen. If you've got a legit IMAX, definitely worth a few extra bucks to go see it there. IMAX 3D, but again, the 3D was amazing. I was on the fence of whether I was going to like it or not. I just wanted to see the movie opening night. I didn't care how I saw it, even if it was on a normal screen, not XD, but I saw it 3D. It was amazing. It was amazing. Definitely highly recommend it. Check it out. Go to your theaters. Watch this movie. Tell me what you think. I loved it. I hope you guys love it too. It's just a great movie. Seriously, it's so great. So, talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Chris with Cinema Hooked.